Fine. Okay, so we will begin the class. So we were discussing about the chapter that is structures. Okay. See, yesterday I have set out something about background knowledge because see whenever you will learn any new topic, so if you have background knowledge, then so you can learn the new topics very easy. Okay, fine. So now the thing is, see, we have the idea of identifiers, variables, and all. Okay. So once again, we will recap the yesterday's class because if you want to understand structures perfectly, so we should have the definition of variables, how much amount of variables is in here. And variable stores single value and if the variable stores more than one value, those things we should have the idea. So if suppose if we declare the variable say int a, so this is how we declare the variable. See, whenever you want to declare the variable, so you should have the idea of the syntax. See, in case of programming language, always if you know the syntax, then writing programs, writing the code of the program will become very easy. So this is the syntax, data type variable. And one more thing, see, this is syntax. It's very important. I'm telling you, to remember this syntax till the end of learning all these concepts of programming language. See, from syntax I have done equals a. So now in this variable, I can store only one value at a time. For example, if I tell a is equals to 10. Okay, so you can consider variable as a and the value stored in computer memory is 10. And in the next line, if I write a is equals to 20, so here 20 is not added to a, but it will replace this one. Since 10 will be replaced by 20. The thing is, see, when we declare the variables can store the values at a time. That's only one value. More than one value, it cannot store. So this is the concept with the variables which store single value. Now, if I want to store more than one value, that means if I want to store both 10 and 20 in the same variable a, so that means if we consider memory location like this, see, value 10, so value 20, okay, so value 10, value 20, and both should be referred by variable a only. Okay, so with this declaration and example, we cannot achieve this. That means storing more than one value and it should be referred by one variable. So if I want to store more than one value in one variable, so what we have to do is we have to look at the concept of arrays. So the concept itself tells collection of values. That means we can store more than one value. Now I can store more than one value in this variable and this. Now for this variable, call it as an array. Instead of variable, we call it as an array. Of course, it is a variable because variable means what? Identifier which stores a value. So this is also identifier which stores value and this is also identifier which stores a value. Now, for this declaration is int, that is int is the data type and a of, you have to read it as a of. Here you have to mention the size, how many values you want to store. So minimum one value, maximum any number you can store. So if I tell a of 2, then 2 values you can store. The statements how we have like this, not like this. You cannot say is because values will be stored in different locations. Okay, 10 and 20 will not be stored in one location, 10 will be stored in first location, 20 will be stored in second location. So how you have to write this? So a of 0, you have to read as a of 0. A of 0 is equals to 10, a of 1 is equals to 20. So now what happens? 10 will be stored in locations, 20 will be stored in the 0 of 1 location. Okay. So this is storing more than one value in single variable. So we cannot achieve this concept where we declare the variables which store single value. Okay. And we can store more values. But the disadvantage of arrays is you can store the values more than one values, but all the values belong to same type. Okay. So 10 is the integer type, 20 is also different. Then this is okay. That means it depends on this. What you mentioned in the depends on the if suppose in 25. So this you cannot achieve. This is not allowed because it is mentioned that we are giving data type as in, so both values should be integers. And if you want to store floating point values, both values should be floating point. That means you have to maintain data type. Either store all the values as integer or store values as floating point. Mixed data type is not allowed in arrays. So the definition says collection of elements with same name and same type. So here the word same type is given. See, you people mute on your side. Okay, I should not get any disturbance from anyone. So you consider this as an advantage. You are sitting in home and listening to the class. Okay. So don't make disturbance in the class. Mohan, mute on your side. Okay. So here both values should be integers or both values should be floating point value. That means mixed data type is not allowed in case of arrays. So the definition is collection of elements with same name and same type. Now coming to the structure, collection of elements with same name and same or different type. So there is the advantage of structures. When you compare with arrays, in arrays it should be same type. Whereas in structures it can be same or different type. So the definition is structure is a collection of elements with same name and same or different type. Now we will see how to declare the structure, because when you consider the variables which show single value, so this is the declaration, that is syntax to declare the variables which shows single value. Now when you consider the arrays, so declaration of array is, that is one dimensional, two dimensional arrays. See, data type. Okay, so data, that means data type should be there compulsory. So instead of calling it as variable, you can call it as array of size. So just one dimensional array declaration and tell. So this is data type array of size. This is the declaration of array. So data type you should mention. So whatever the data type you mention, you have to maintain that data type throughout the you fill the values. Okay, now coming to the structures, you will see the declaration of structure. Okay. Okay. So syntax. So to declare a structure. So while learning programming language, syntax is the key thing. Okay, you just compare with mathematics. If you forget the formulas in mathematics, you cannot solve the problem. Similarly, if you forget the syntax in programming language, you cannot write a code. Okay, for every line there will be syntax for every statement. So first, before going to the program, so we will see how to declare the structure. So it starts from the keyword struct. Okay, so struct is a keyword. So when I say keyword, you have to remember the keywords rules. So keywords rules are, first of all, keyword is a predefined word. That means which is present in programming language itself. Okay, and every letter of a keyword should be lowercase letters. You should not use any letter in capital letter. So if you try to change that, it becomes identified. Okay, it will violate the rule of keyword. So while writing keywords, you should be very much careful. So you just observe that yes, you have written in lowercase letters. And sometimes what happens, like in English, we have practice writing, that is starting of the paragraph, first letter will be capital. So if you have practiced writing like this structure, but you have to change the habit. Okay, so yes, it should be written in small letters only, even though you are starting from starting a new sentence also, the word struct should be lowercase letters. Okay, then followed by the struct keyword, there is a structure name, at least one space you give. So structure name. So structure name is an identifier. Okay, so while writing the syntax, you write in any way, capital letter, small letter, or whatever it is. You put hyphen, underscore, backspace, anything you can put, because there is no rule for this while writing in the syntax. While writing the example, you have to maintain them. That means this is an identifier. So for keyword, some rules are there. For identifiers, some rules are there. So what is the rule for keyword? One important rule, right? All the letters of the keyword in lowercase letters. That is important. For an identifier, we have four rules. Okay. So the structure name is, it is an identifier. Okay. So the rules for identifiers are, first rule is blank spaces are not allowed. See, you don't compare here because if I give blank space also it is allowed because this is the syntax. Okay. So in syntax, keywords write as it is. When it comes to identifier, you just write meaning. That's all. You put underscore or type or anything. While writing the example, you follow the rules. So while writing the example, the rules for identifier is blank spaces not allowed. First rule. Second rule, keywords cannot be used. Starting character should not be digit. Okay. And special characters are not allowed except underscore. And underscore is not compulsory. If you want, you can use. If you don't want, you leave it. But other symbols you should not use. Okay. And starting character should not be digit. You should not use keywords. Blank spaces are not allowed. So by remembering these rules, you can write the identifier. See, wherever I can identifier, so rules should come into your mind. Then only you need not memorize the variables. Because for every program, you may memorize for this program, these are the variables. Nothing like that. Just remember the identifiers, write your own variable, own array, own structure. Okay. Then followed by this opening brace. Okay, so this is called as opening brace. Then comes the data type. Okay, data type. After data type, generally what we write? Variable. Right. So here it is called as member. It is actually variable only, but technical term is instructors. It is called as member one. Then again data type. Okay. So immediately after data type, we write variable. So here it is called as member. So member two. Okay. So we can write n number of members. So data type. Okay. Then member n. So we should close the structure, right? Closing brace. So this is called as keyword. Okay. Keyword, and this is an identifier. So opening brace, data type, member one, data type, member two, after member n. And these data types can be, remember, these data types can be either basic or derived or user defined. Basic, derived, or user defined data type. Understood? So this can be basic or derived or user defined data type. And members of the structures are nothing but the variables. Members of the structures are nothing but the variables. So variables in turn we can call it as an identifier. See, where and all we use the concept of identifiers, you have to remember the identifiers. Okay, structure name is an identifier, members of the structures are identifiers. So variable is an identifier, structure name is an identifier, members of the structure is an identifier, structure variable is an identifier. So wherever I call identifiers, you have to remember the identifier rules. So data type can be basic, derived, or user defined data type. And after we end the structure by closing brace, we have to put the semicolon. So in syntax also we have two types of syntax. One is, so this is first syntax. So first syntax, once again I will tell you, struct is a keyword, structure name, it is an identifier, opening brace. See, here also we call it by technical terms only. So in mathematics it is called as square bracket, but here it is called as brace. And this is opening brace, this is the closing brace. Opening brace, data type member one, data type member two, after n number of members. Okay. Then closing brace, semicolon. So this is one way of declaring the structure. So according to this syntax, we will see the example. Okay. So just I will make it a short so that I will write the example here. Okay, now here I will write the example. So struct is okay, you consider the example. So when you write the example, so you have to follow the syntax first. Okay. So what is the syntax? We have to use the keyword struct. Okay. Yes. Struct is a keyword. Then comes the structure name. So structure name is an identifier. So identifier means by remembering the identifier rules, you can write anything. Okay. For example, if I write student, we just take the identifier rules. So I have not used any blank spaces. Okay. Then keywords, it is not a keyword. Okay. Symbols except underscore. So underscore is not compulsory. If I don't use also, it's bad. And Starting character should not be repeated. Yes, I have used a capital letter. Yes. So in identifiers, you can use capital letters. So yes is a capital letter that you can use, but in keyword you should not use. So this yes should be in small letter. This is either you can write in capital or small letter. Okay. Then according to syntax, opening brace. Okay. Then see members of a structure is right. Members of a structures are nothing but variables. So whenever we say variables for writing variables, you have to use the data type. Okay. So this each individuals are called as declarations. Okay. Declaration of first variable, declaration of second variable. Up to n number of declarations you can do. Okay. And coming to the data type, you can use basic, derived, or user defined data type. Now just let us use basic data types because we know basic types: integer, float, character, double, void, boolean. So except void, you can use other 5 types: int, float, char, double, boolean. Now we will use 2 or 3 data types. Now let me take it as int. Okay, data type. Then see, while writing the members of the structure, so you have to follow one rule. Not a rule. We can say like some concept. That is, structure is collection of elements which are logically related. So in case of structure, one more thing what I should say is collection of elements which are logically related. See, logically related means like what are the things related to student that we should know. So things related to student are roll number, name, class, keys, combination, percentage, total. These are the elements related to the student. So these elements we have to use as a members of the structure. Understood? So these elements are used as a members of the structure. Now let us consider 2 or 3 elements. So int, okay. So you leave one space. So roll number, okay. Roll number is the member of a structure student. Then comes the say for example CHAR, data type is character. Name of a student, okay. Name of a student means it will be in array format. So I will take as size 25. That means 25 characters long. Okay. Then, for example, if I say int, one more time, or we can say float percentage, nothing but average. So end this structure with semicolon. Okay. So this is the example. You just compare. Structure is a keyword, student is the identifier name. Int data type, roll number is the member of the structure. Again, CHAR data type, name is the member of the structure. Float data type, average is the member of the structure. Okay. So I will wait for 1 minute. You can copy or you can go through. If you come across any doubts, you can ask. Okay. Again, we will continue. If you want to copy, you can copy. Or else you can just go through. Okay. So if you come across any doubts, you can ask. See, if you people come across any doubts, you can speak and ask, or you can chat and ask. However, it is comfortable for you, you can do it. If you want to speak, just unmute. You ask the doubt, then you can use it. Okay, so we will continue. I hope you people have understood this concept. Okay. Okay. See, after the class, I will be sending the recorded video plus notes also. And whatever the examples I'm giving on the board, it may be a little different in the notes. Only examples. Concept will be same. There will be no change in concept. Only with respect to examples, it will be same or different. Don't worry. But if you want to copy, you just put in the chat box that just wait for me to ask me, I'll get it and you can copy it. Otherwise, you can refer the notes. Okay, we'll move further. See, when I consider the example of a structure, okay, like student, okay, then if I consider two members, that is roll number, then name. Let me consider 10 characters long. Then we go for float, say percentage. Yeah. So this is the example of a structure. But see, when we declare the variable, so what happens at the internal level that we should know? It's very, very important. For example, if I declare int a, see, in the previous class I said the purpose of declaring the variable. Okay, the purpose of declaring the variable is to know the amount of memory it is using and to know the type of the value it is using. Okay, two things: to know the amount of memory, to know the type of value. See here, amount of memory is 2 bytes. Okay, for this variable it is 2 bytes because integer occupies 2 or 4 bytes depending on the computer machine. Let us consider 2 bytes. Then type of value is in this we are storing integer. Okay, now I can write the memory representation like this. Okay, so this is variable A, and I can say this is the memory representation. So 2 bytes of memory. So this is how internal operations happens. Okay, when we declare the variable. Now, if you compare same thing with in case of structure, see I have like three variables: roll numbers, name, and percentage. Right? Roll number, name, and percentage. Now, when you compare this operation, that is memory representation operation, see roll number should occupy 2 bytes because it is an integer. Name should occupy 10 bytes because CHAR data type occupies 1 byte. CHAR data type occupies 1 byte. And here we have size as 10. So 10 into 1 is 10 bytes. So for this declaration, that is CHAR name of 10, it should occupy 10 bytes. Because if I tell CHARC without an array, it occupies 1 byte. Just try to understand here. So CHRC occupies 1 byte. If you are considering the array, the amount of memory into that size. So amount of memory is 1 byte. 1 into 10 is 10 bytes. Okay. Then coming to the last variable, that is float PR percentage. So this should occupy 4 bytes. Okay. So roll number should occupy 2 bytes. That is int roll number should occupy 2 bytes. Character, that is name, should occupy 10 bytes. Then float should occupy 4 bytes. Okay. So totally, so 10 plus 4, 14. 14 plus 2, 16 bytes should occupy. See, if people are a little confused with the character, so if you don't consider this also, you can understand the concept. Let me take out this. That is 4 plus 2, it is 6 bytes of memory. Okay. So two data members I have taken, roll number and percentage. So 2 bytes, 6 bytes of memory it will occupy. Okay. Now the question is, after this code is executed in the program, okay, whether we will get this much amount of memory or not. This is the question. Because you just compare with the variables which show single value. So here, when this particular statement is executed in the main function, I will get 2 bytes of memory. That's for sure. Then you can store the value. So immediately after this declaration, you can say A is equals to 10 or A is equals to 20. You get the value. 100% will get the value. But when you declare the structure, remember after this statement, after these lines are executed, no memory is allocated. No memory is allocated. That means we will not get any memory. We will not get 6 bytes of memory. Okay, this concept you have to understand. Why? Because this is called as structure declaration. Okay. See, there are two things in declarations in programming language: declaration and definition. Declaration and definition. See, in case of definition, we are getting memory. In case of declaration, we are not getting memory. In case of definition, we are getting memory. In case of declaration, we are not getting memory. But in some cases, you can use two words for one statement also. That is, this statement is called as declaration plus definition, both. Okay. Okay, let us not worry about that thing. But after, once these statements are executed, we will not get any memory. Okay, so no memory is allocated. Now, if I want to get the memory, what I should do? Correct? If I want to get the memory, what I should do? We have to declare structure variable. We have to declare structure variable. Say, listen, whatever the things you have written inside the structure, if you call variables for these things, there is one more term called a structure variable. So better not to call variables for these things. We will get confusion because I said there is one more concept called a structure variable, and for this also if you are calling variables, so they will feel difficult to differentiate. Okay, so for these things we will call it as members of a structure. Okay, members of a structure. And next concept is structure variable. So once the structure variable is declared, we will get the memory. Remember, once structure variable is declared, we will get the memory. Then till now what we have done? We have declared the structure name, that's all. By this declaration, we are getting only structure name along with the members of the structure. We are not getting structure variables. Remember, we are getting only structure name along with the members of a structure. See, we have not created structure variable. Once you create the structure variable, then you will get the memory. So for that, we have the syntax. So I'll tell you. So just I'll tell the syntax and one example. Okay. So for that, syntax is so same syntax. Okay, that is structure name. Okay, then so data type number 1 to n. See, before you put the semicolon, here only we will write the structure variable. Here only we will write the structure variable. Then we put the semicolon. This is one way. Okay. Another way is, if suppose if you put semicolon, if you don't write the structure variable, another way is after writing the structure declaration. That is, if you look at this example, we come after writing the structure declaration. So you can write like this: structure name. Okay. After that, variable. So this is called as structure variable. So in this way also you can write it. Understood? Either remove the semicolon, write structure variable, then put semicolon, or else put the semicolon here. Next line you can write the structure variable. Okay. On this line, even we can write the main function also. In main function, you can bring this line. So I am telling you main function means because this declaration part we will not write in main function. Above the main function we are writing. Okay. So examples and remaining things you will see in the next class. Okay, have a good day.